It's another Uncharted Nebula, so we've had just great luck with that. I would have liked to show off more different sectors or some home worlds, but sometimes you just don't get the luck that you want. We have a lot of options here, so we'll go ahead and choose that. Okay, this is great. So normally repairing at this point in the game will cost like 3 scrap, but these guys look like they're doing it for 2 just in bulk, and we happen to need some bulk repairs. So I think we'll go ahead and get 10 repaired for 20. That's a great deal. That's kind of why I like to not always get repair at the shop, just because you never know what'll happen. Of course, that strategy can be risky. Now it looks like we've run into an ion storm, and we have a scout after us. They look like they have some pretty effective lasers there, but they don't have very much in the way of shields. So I think I'm just gonna take down their lasers first. Looks like they have a hacking module, but they're not using it. Hacking, basically, it'll send out a little drone, and our defense drone could actually shoot it down if it were on. And it'll lock onto any room. And, well, I think we actually already saw it in this video. But to go in a little bit more detail, it can do different things depending on the room it's in. So if they got drone control and you had, say, like an anti-personnel drone defending your ship, they could actually take control of that drone and use it to attack your own guys. If you get hacked in your doors or your oxygen, he can open all the doors on the ship temporarily, or in oxygen he can actually suck oxygen out of the ship instead of just the normal rate that it would decline. It'll rapidly suck out. So hacking can be a really interesting tool. Looks like they want to surrender, but we're just going to go ahead and kill them. We have the upper hand. They did manage to hurt us. Now we see the benefits of having upgraded oxygen. So basically we're going to take a little bit of hull damage in this fight, but it's going to most likely give us rewards that were well worth the damage that we took. Basically just took a little bit of damage. Now we get 50 scrap and some fuel missile to boot. We have quite a lot now, so we may think about spending some of it. I think we may as well go ahead and upgrade engines. It's one of those universal things it's always good to have. Also go ahead and upgrade piloting. 2 reasons for that. One is it doesn't take any power. 2 is it's useful in a lot of blue options. I don't really care that much about the upgrade. It makes it so that if our pilot is away, you still have half evasion. Our pilot's more or less always going to be there in most circumstances. But getting it so that if it takes 1 damage, you can still pilot is really great. And the blue options are never bad. I think the key to winning this game, first of all, is probably to pay attention and make sure all your shit is powered. But secondly would be to kind of maximize the number of things you have that give you blue options so that you get shit without even having to fight for it. And now we see why these fucking nebula sectors are so obnoxious. Nothing happens. Oh, I can sell missiles for scrap. Well, I'm not really using missiles anymore, so sure, let's get some scrap. And I think we will want to jump over here. We'll visit the store in just a moment. This is a scout who's going to try to give us away, and he has a lot of shields. I would use the combat drone, but this guy looks like he's actually quite effective at hurting us. So I think the defense drone is going to be key here. The This is an Ion Blast Mark II that we saw at the store earlier. So unless it misses a decent amount, it will eventually destroy our shields completely. And then that beam weapon will be able to get through them, and it will ruin our whole day. Fortunately, we did just take it out, but not in time for the beam weapon to get us once. Hopefully that's the only time they get us. As you can see, that defense drone is earning its keep there, shooting down the missiles. It is about to get away, and I don't think there's really much I can do to stop it. So that means that the rebels will catch up to us more quickly. So that's not great, but it's also not the end of the world. I think we will go to the store early, just because we have a decent amount. Okay, we can get mind control, we can get some big ass lasers, an ion charge weapon. Let's talk about these a little bit. So, charger weapons are new in Advanced Edition. Basically, in a short period of time they can fire off one shot, or if you let them charge again, they can get up to larger numbers. This particular one can charge up to 3 times. So basically, these are useful if you want to still be able to get through a large amount of shields, but once their shields are down, to be able to effectively just hammer them quickly in various places. The downside is that charging to full takes longer than a comparable weapon would normally take to fire, but it's more versatile. These are just lasers that they're heavy, so they still only get through 1 bubble of shields, but if they get through shields, they do 2 damage, so they can be quite effective. I think we're going to start by buying a whole lot of fuel. We just really don't want to run out. We're going to sell this fire drone. Mind control will basically take over a crew member on the enemy ship, and if you upgrade it, it will also make that crew member stronger and give them more health. And so it can really wreak havoc, but it does take up a slot for a system on your ship, and ultimately I think that other things you can have there, like teleporting and hacking, are just better. Mind control is neat, and it does give you some blue options. It can be useful in certain builds, especially when you combine it with boarding and bio beams that hurt crew members and stuff like that, but I think for the most part mind control is not that great. So from this store, I think we'd probably be best off just getting the backup battery. It's about time we get that, and we'll repair a little bit. And if we look at our ship and see what the upgrades do, this is where we're standing. So we've got enough to dodge 20, plus our crew member skills will put us at 40. And our shields are 3 bubbles. We've got these down here. I don't really need to use the combat and defense drone at the same time very often. I don't think it's going to be worth the amount of scrap to invest in that just yet. I think we'll just go ahead and save what we have. There's nothing earth-shaking we can get right now. Nothing happening because it's a fucking nebula. Nothing ever happens here. We'll just go up here. Okay, we can fight another automated ship. These often are just really decked out. This one has a giant-ass missile launcher, as you can see, and an ion weapon with a laser. Fortunately, giant-ass missiles get shot down by the defense drone just like little-ass missiles, so this is not as big of a threat as it would normally be. Normally this would be a very hectic battle, but because we have that defense drone, it's kind of a walk in the park. I say that the missile can still get through, it's just pretty rare that it happens. So now that their shield's down to 1, I am going to target their weapons just in case. I don't want to play it too fast and loose, and we should get them pretty soon. I'll aim for their piloting now, just because if I hit it once, my chance of hitting it again and killing them is a little bit higher. And now we kill them. Okay, we got some scrap. The station gives us a bunch of fuel, some missiles, and even more scrap. That was a great encounter. I don't know if it makes up for all the nothing encounters in this stupid nebula, but I couldn't complain too much. I think we'll go ahead and upgrade the med bay now solely for blue options. It's one of those things, having a level 2 med bay just gives you free shit in a lot of events. More intruders on board. It's also good when you have intruders. It means you can heal faster. Let's see where they are. Looks like there's some in here. So we'll just send all our guys here. There's no other threat, so there's no reason not to just empty the ship and murder all of them. Looks like there's some more. So even though Engis aren't that good at fighting, they have just as much health as anybody else. So we might as well send them in just to soak up damage if the other guys need to heal. But since we have a Mantis, we may not even need to do that. Yep, our guys look like they're cleaning up pretty easily, and they're all good, so we'll just cycle them in the med bay, and I'll see you when they're finished healing. Alright, and we're gonna jump now. We need to go towards the exit. We don't want to backtrack, so towards the exit we go. Looks like there's a pirate, and we're just gonna fight them, because fuck pirates, we want your shit. This is a charge laser, and that sound was us being boarded. Looks like by someone in this room. You can see because the door is getting attacked. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is basically just empty the oxygen, and we'll let them come to us. They don't have any missiles, so we don't need to use our defense drone. I'll just keep the medbay powered. Looks like they're gonna try and break into our weapons, so I'll send our Mantis to wait in there. And our extra repair guy might as well hang out in there too. And of course, I'm forgetting to fire our weapons. We should probably target their shields first, just because they have so much defense. We need to be able to get through it. I'm going to go ahead and close the doors now. Their guys are sufficiently injured. And now we can actually open all the doors. You want to make sure you don't do that when the space doors are still open. But it's great when you had to release some of the oxygen, because it evens out all the oxygen in the ship, which means that your guys won't be taking damage from not having oxygen, and you want that. Alright, so now we've taken their shields down pretty far. We're going to go ahead and shoot out their weapons, just in case they get smart enough to actually let their laser charge. Looks like their FTL is delayed, probably just because their pilot chose to leave and repair something, but we're going to make sure that that stays the case. They want to surrender. This is less scrap than I would probably get from killing them, but it's a lot of fuel. So I think I'm just going to take this, actually. It's worth it for the guaranteed fuel. You really don't want to run out. And here we go to the exit. Nothing happening here. It's a nebula. Okay, we can... Oh my god. Alright, so we can go to an uncharted nebula or to an abandoned sector. The abandoned sector is new in the Advanced Edition, and that's where the new race, the Lanius, hangs out. I would not normally go there because it will be incredibly dangerous, but I'm going there to show you. This has been an extraordinarily long episode.